You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, Change for a Change is the Radiothon. We've been on this radio since 6 a.m.
That's right.
We're
still
leaving
going
at
strong.
midnight.
Awesome.
And now we have my good friend Joshua Humbert is here from the National Urban League.
Hello.
Thank you. Yes.
We were actually
to the show.
me and Charlamagne were at the National Urban League dinner that you guys had last night.
Yeah, I had to go support my girl Angela Rye. She won y'all leadership award.
Yep.
And Mahershala
She's a rock
Ali.
star. Yeah, definitely
absolutely.
a rock star.
So talk about, before you get into what you do, what the National Urban League does for people, because I've actually been working with you guys
Absolutely.
as of late, and you guys have been so incredible just for me, and for me to have these resources and know that they're available to everybody, I think is important.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think we push ourselves to, sort of redefine the profile of a philanthropist, which is everyone can get involved. There's so many different types of resources, from education programs, from healthcare to mentorship to welfare to work programs, juvenile justice programs. So, we're trying to make sure that, we serve around 1.2, 1.3. We've gotten up to the highest as 2 million a year serving services free of charge. A lot of entrepreneurship. We have about 13 entrepreneurship centers around the country. So that's really awesome for folks to be able to work on their craft, get business consultants and things of that nature. It's one of the best things in the world to work for an organization that's just dedicated to taking care of Black folks and underserved communities.
Word, I donated to the Urban League last night too.
Man, we need it, man. It was a good turnout.
Yeah, I mean it's so interesting, and I'm guilty of it, but I never thought to donate to these organizations. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've said things in my life like, what is the NAACP doing? What is the National Action Network doing? And it's like they could do a lot more
with money.
if we were funding them. So it's just like people like Angela Rye told me how they always donate to these organizations. So when I was like there last night, I was like, yo, I'm gonna start doing that on a regular basis.
That'd be awesome.
But you know what made me do it? This actually made me do it. To see what the money goes to and what's needed makes me want to donate more to these organizations when we do have it. And
I guess
we
that's
appreciate your organization.
That's a great point too. I guess that's the other thing as well. Like I know Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been a mentor to Know Your Rights camp. I see what Tamika and Linda and Carmen are doing as far as the women are concerned. So it's just like, I guess we got to see people actually in the field.
Correct.
To feel like our money is actually going towards something.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times we take for granted our own sort of philanthropic acts that we do every single day, and which is being aware. And I think a lot of times we don't tell people that, building your human capital and your social capital along with your philanthropy all goes towards helping your community.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we don't see it because we see philanthropists as such a big word, but it's really just a big word for big-hearted people. Like, we really need to be able to take back that word and be able to say, I am a philanthropist. I am redefining what that looks like. I can get ahead by doing well. And I think one of the things at the National Urban League, which I'm charged to, and just what I've been doing for the last 20 years of my life, is just being able to help people understand that, that philanthropist is in you, being consistent, smart. When you volunteer to do Little League baseball or basketball, someone's always modeling their behavior after you, whether you know it or not. And I think sometimes we forget to be intentional about how our life looks and works in collaboration with others. So being vulnerable, not being afraid to be vulnerable, and telling your testimony, and being able to tell people, guess what, I am a philanthropist. But a lot of times you even ask yourself, like, would my friends call me a philanthropist? And then it's something you might have to sit and think about, and then you have to think about how I could even change that notion of, I'm doing things, I'm volunteering, I'm getting my name out there, and people need to see that as well. They really do need to be encouraged.
Absolutely.
Now, Joshua, for you have a master's in philanthropy also, which is
yes.
something I never even heard of. So obviously this is something that has been extremely important to you, the importance of giving.
Wow. What school did you go to? What college?
So I went to Norfolk State University.
Norfolk State, okay,
HBCU.
75. I went across the water, Hampton.
Oh, man, I love it. Hey, I gotten thrown in that pond a couple of times, man.
All right.
Another story for another day.
Let people throw you in ponds.
Man, long day, long story.
757, all right.
But it's one of the things is Indiana University has an excellent program. It's actually the only program that you can actually get a degree in, not from a policy or perspective, but really an actual degree in philanthropic studies. I'm one of 7 Black males, I think, in the world that has a master's in philanthropic studies. So, I can go all the way from 16th century France, gift giving, to, how we can connect to our own communities. I mean, it really is something about pushing people to know their best selves. And a lot of times, and I can get on soapbox when it comes to philanthropy, but it's a lot of people think they have to just give money. Like, you can build your self-worth up. Like, my story is, we grew up in humble origins. That's just a good way of saying, we were broke. And then so being able to have those conversations and being introduced, when you're going out there and you're going to a different nonprofit event or things of that nature, it is the only way. I mean, philanthropy is a new billionaires boys clubs, in my opinion.
Right.
It's not, golf courses and private clubs are sort of ending in that way. But if you can get on a board, you get to meet people that you've never met before. When you go to a nonprofit event, it's the best way that you can actually have a conversation with someone that you would never have had a conversation with, or
Correct.
their guard is down. It's hard to be rude when you're fighting cancer at the same time as someone else
Absolutely.
at the table.
A nice
So,
common
and
cause.
it's a nice common cause. You'll get further along by being able to have those conversations in the right moment when people are really sort of bonding around something that they all believe in.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just want you to say what the National Urban League does, because a lot of people, like I said, I wasn't aware of these resources that are free.
Yes.
So what can you
absolutely.
do for people out there that might need a National Urban League and don't even know it?
Absolutely. So we have 88 affiliates across the country. So we have one central location, which is in New York, which is our headquarters down on 80 Pine. And then we have CEOs, and which are affiliate CEOs. And you basically tap into those affiliates.
Gotcha.
It's like that affiliate net-wide enterprise, that ecosystem. And what we try to do is make sure that everyone is being touched. And each of these affiliates run different programs, but they all have signature programs that are built up out of national. And one of the things is entrepreneurship. A lot of times, so the CVS that burned down in Baltimore, they turned that into a entrepreneurship center. The one in Ferguson, the Quick Trip, I believe, that burned down, they turned that into a $30 million building out in Ferguson. People don't know about that, but jobs are being created out of that. Entrepreneurship skills are being created. Michael McMillan's doing a wonderful job out there, and we had our conference there this year. And, one of the things is I think people don't realize that they can get involved, and that, we're not going to hit them over the head for consulting services and fees and things of that nature. Gotcha. They can go and take their first job. So many people have come to me. My dad got his first job from the National Urban League. You helped him do his resume. We do so much pipeline building. A lot of times people think they're ready for the bright lights, but they're not, because they're just not pipeline ready. And it's one of the things that we try to do is create a healthy pipeline of entrepreneurs, folks in education, around civil society building. If you want to be involved, use your philanthropy as activism. A lot of times, it's not just marching, because a lot of times you have to do something just than marching. I love when Angela said last night, we have to work woke.
Word up.
It's so important, because a lot of times we don't give credit to the people behind the scenes who have really been manning the gates for so long, but because we don't see them, we think that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, but it could be further from the truth.
All right. Well, now let's get to business.
Yes.
Let's get to business.
First,
Mr. Philanthropy.
Yeah.
Why is it
That's it.
important to donate to organizations like the Gathering for Justice?
Oh my gosh. So, I always say that it's important because these folks are, I was even looking at, I've actually saw a lot of their work that they were coming up. And one of the things that social justice, people are really putting their energy behind this, and they're transforming the way that philanthropy looks to them. And I keep saying that because it really is philanthropy. It's institutional philanthropy. Once you start putting a 501c3 together, you start putting meetings together, you start putting an agenda together, you're really starting to affect that change that people don't see, like beyond the sound bites and the media. You're really getting that change. So I love the fact that, people are getting around, starting new causes. Sometimes you don't have to recreate the wheel to get involved, but sometimes the wheel needs to be broken and remolded to something that looks better for the new generation. So I'm excited that these folks are doing this.
All right. Mr. Philanthropy major.
Let's get to business now.
Masters.
Like Charlamagne has been saying, you can pull out your phone right now.
Yes. Let's show them how simple it is. I know you got one hand right now.
I know you don't.
He was doing something philanthropic.
Yeah, I was doing something. Yeah, I'll take that. Philanthropic
his Twitter
athlete.
is-
Philanthropic athlete.
Oh, there you go.
Philanthropic
And I've
athlete.
been trying to get him to work on his social too, so it's Mr.Philanthropy.
No, Mr. Philanthropy.
Oh,
I'm
just
working.
Mr. You got rid of the
I
dot?
I got it. I don't know how I got it, but I actually got
Okay,
that one.
Mr. Philanthropy.
Where's
If
your
you want to
phone?
learn about what you can
right
do.
here. What are we going to do?
Okay, so you can text 52182.
I'm in it.
All right.
The word
Why you got
change.
Bernice Burgos Instagram as soon as you open up your phone?
Huh? No, stop. Wow. Almost, right? Almost, man.
52182.
I got one hand. You got to say it slow. 5182.
52182.
You text change.
You text change.
Got it.
Boom.
Let's do 1,000.
You gonna do 1,000?
Yeah,
1,000. That's what I'm talking
Joshua.
about.
Yeah, man.
You know, we
I
ain't
keep up
gonna
with
put
you
it out
guys,
there,
man.
but since you did,
Yeah.
That's
No,
good.
man. No. See, I
$1,000.
claim it, man. Claim it. I'm up here hanging
thank
out
you
with
so
you
much.
guys. Yeah.
thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
And
All right.
Joshua's going to come back up here more frequently.
And you can
Absolutely.
donate as well. Just go to bcchange4change.com or text the word change to 52182. And thank you for joining us.
No, I
We
really
appreciate
appreciate you guys.
And whatever else you need
Warm
what we need from
hospitality.
us, we're there for you.
I
Make sure
appreciate
y'all hit
that.
him up too if you have any questions about the National Urban League or what they could do for you at Mr.
Yeah.
Philanthropy.
We got to get Mark on here. He would love this.
Yes, absolutely.
Our fearless leader is just ready for this type of stuff.
Absolutely.
All
Cool
right.
beans.
It's the
Thank you,
Breakfast
guys.
Club.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
It's Change for Change.